Oh, damn, I forgot to do that thing where you had the thumbnails. My bad.
Oh, you're good.
I forgot where you can do that. Oh, damn, I forgot to do that thing where you had the thumbnails. My bad. Oh, wait,
Oh,
why am I hearing echo? Is that you?
Oh, that was my bad. I had the link pulled up still.
Gotcha.
Like get this up on IG. Oh wait, where's Chris? Where's Chris?
I don't know. I messaged him. Witcher. There we go. All right. Beautiful. Oh, whoopsie. What's up, Chris?
Right. We're not live right now, are
we are live. Indeed live right now.
Oh, hell. Okay, cool.
No, we usually do some preamble anyway, so it's no big deal. But yeah, this is episode, what are we on, 16 of the long take. Today, doing some quick movie news and show news, news items, as well as doing a draft of the best actor-singer combos. You can take that as you will. We kind of left it as like a broad stroke, so like you can kind of go anywhere you want with it. Initially, I was thinking like they had to be a singer that turned to being an actor like MGK, but I was like, that kind of narrows it so much. May as well like expand it and let it be like a bunch of different things. But yeah, should be a fun one. I want to know, what do you think of the hat, Chris? I decided to go for like the tiny fisherman's hat.
I mean, I think it looks good. It looks like you'd fit in right on the set of Jaws. I feel like. Yeah.
I think it's actually called like a fisherman's cap or something like that.
Yeah. No, yeah. Which is weird because is it any different than your basic stocking cap?
I think it's just smaller. Like that's literally it.
Yeah.
It's literally just smaller. Someone's like, have you ever watched Oz?
Parts of it, yeah.
There was a character, Adam BC, who's like the guy. He's in Lost and a bunch of other stuff like Born Identity. He would always wear like these obscenely tiny hats. Like really, okay. It's Adam BC, I think. That was so funny.
I made soup.
Made soup at 12 p.m. soup.
I need to eat something. I haven't eaten like since my popcorn yesterday at my 6 p.m. showing of One Piece Film Red.
Oh, Jesus.
Jack, did you see my tweets about it?
I saw the one. I didn't see all of them.
Very, very funny. So what happened was, and it's like a packed theater, by the way, for the. Oh my God.
This is So I think I could do it.
So that One Piece movie was like packed theater, packed with, I mean, everything you'd expect at a shonen anime movie. And they played the dub. They accidentally played the dub instead of the sub version. And the whole crowd went nuts. Like started booing. They were going insane. And then when they finally switched over like 10 minutes in, and the crowd went like thunderous applause. Just absolutely insane. Well, it was like No Way Home. Like it was like that kind of reactions throughout. It really was. Like they're insane.
How smelly was that theater, out of curiosity?
Pretty bad.
Pretty stinky?
Pretty bad. There was a guy next to me. Just say it was like sitting next to the weird kid that might be touching himself in class. Yeah, it was like
Jesus.
Like
heard someone go like
in his pocket. I'm like, what's going on over there? I'm just not
Nico Robin.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
There's some hot characters in that show, to be fair, Chris. Like
very, very hot.
There is no female character in that show that doesn't have like triple E tits. Like it's insane. That the creator of that anime is one of the horniest dudes.
Let me ask you this question, and we're probably going down a crazy rabbit hole here. Have you ever genuinely been attracted to an anime or cartoon character?
Like, you mean like I'm like pounding off to an anime? No, I've never gone that far ever. But like definitely get turned on by like you see a giant set of titties. Like, yeah.
But they're not okay.
If you draw,
I know I'm in the minority here, but I don't like.
If you draw some titties, I'm gonna look at them.
No, but okay, well that's a huge difference. Yeah, I mean I would too. You know, they're titties.
Dude,
but
did you guys see that? Do you guys know who Theo Vaughn is?
Yes.
I met him at Baton Rouge.
But he threw up. He was on somebody's podcast. And he was telling a story like when he was.
Yes, I know. I think it was Rogan.
He was paying like $4. This guy would sell drawings when they were in middle school of titties. He's like, this guy could draw some titties. He's like, and people were paying $4 more, like $1. And he's like, yeah, we just take him home and just pound off to him.
Jesus Christ. There's just, I mean, people, they're good at animating it too. I would say that, like, the budget put into animating the bounce of boobs in Japanese video games and anime is insane. Like, it's like 50% fight scenes, 50% making sure the bounce of boobs looks realistic.
Nothing is moving in the background. It's just the tits. The tits
It's incredible how horny they are.
Relevant to Drake too, as
yeah, that's true.
Very relevant to Drake just going full horny.
Yeah, he went extremely, like, full on horny and on his IG story. Like, I posted the first 3. The last one was just legitimately like a sex scene, and I was like, all right, I can't post that. But yeah, that was
that just some weird thing he did to promote his album?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I feel like it.
I could figure it out at all. It's like, why did you do that?
It's too much of a coincidence, because initially I'm like, maybe he was hacked.
Did your Chris? Did your like delinquent ass ever get turned on by Mrs. Incredible?
Didn't mine?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, she has the world's fattest ass. What are we talking about?
And Holly Hunter's voice, Holly Hunter's got a hot voice.
How about Dexter from Dexter's Lab's mom?
No.
Dude,
not
she
quite.
had the dumper.
No. I don't know. There's just a weird disconnect with me when it comes to that stuff. I just like, and I'm not knocking anybody for it. I don't give a shit. I would say the only one where I'm like, all right, maybe, is Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
Ariel?
Dude, she's on the hotness scale of cartoon characters. She's like a 4. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to send you some stuff.
Please don't. I don't want to have to deal with that. And I'm talking when I was like 7. I'm not saying like today, like 27-year-old Chris Castellani is, being attracted to it. That's like the only one. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, I gotta share this. There's a TikTok.
Somebody brought up Jessica Rabbit. Okay, that's objectively speaking, I feel like that's probably 1A or 1B on everyone's list. That kind of goes without saying.
They drew her literally on purpose for that too.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So it's so gratuitous. It's almost, you can't even really mention it. Yeah.
Danny Phantom's mom. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's a very loud fart sound.
No, I could hear it.
Oh shit, it was really fun. And that's like Danny Phantom's mom, I think. But yeah, the Jessica Rabbit, like Lola Bunny, like they were designed for that. They knew what they were doing.
Oh, Lola Bunny. You guys ever watched the Nostalgia Critic on YouTube?
I haven't, no.
Okay, he did this whole, one of his earliest reviews was like of Space Jam and the fact that like bunnies don't have tits, and they intentionally went out of their way to be like, bunny boobies, we're drawing them. Yeah. Funny shit.
They have big boobs. Also, what always kind of did it when I was in my teen years was the girl from Max Goof. I think her name was Roxanne or something like that.
Oh yeah, Roxanne was so hot.
Yeah, like it's done on purpose. Like they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I mean it's like that in video games too. Like when you play Batman Arkham City, and like the way that Catwoman walks, it's like there's some guy who spent an entire day of work being like, how do I make this sexier? Like that's their job. Yeah.
I paid for the Black Cat DLC in Spider-Man.
Me too.
Did you Gooch ever play Mass Effect, or you, Chris? I don't know if either of you have played them. Mass Effect, it was maybe the all-time serial offender of horny shots. Like you'd be in a dialogue scene and there would be shots where it's just right behind the girl in front of you's ass staring at you, and it's just like, it was hilarious. Serial offender of it. It was very funny. Good games too.
Yeah, there was a whole Fox News piece about
about Mass Effect and giant asses.
About the promotion of sex in Mass Effect. Yeah. I'll try to find it. It was like 07, 08, but like, yeah, I do remember it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, The Witcher in the tub, also very true. That was a sexy scene. Witcher has a lot. The games in The Witcher are just straight up sex scenes.
Games.
Oh yeah. So anyway,
there's a lot of sex in the books though. So like,
exactly, yeah. We can actually do that right off the top. As far as like news goes, just say The Witcher, Henry Cavill exiting, Liam Hemsworth taking over. It's interesting because Henry Cavill fought really hard to get the role and committed to a 7-season run with the caveat that he would do it so long as the show was loyal to the work of the author. And he left maybe for scheduling with Superman / House of the Dragon, maybe because he just doesn't like all the changes they made across the 2 seasons. Maybe a combination of all 3 of those things. I don't know. I think he is going to be in House of the Dragon, by the way. I know the rumors about that have been swirling forever. And this exit, I think, from a TV schedule to another TV schedule will make sense. But yeah, so he's leaving. Kind of sucks because he is so passionate about the project. And I do think that he was really good as Geralt, like really, really good as the character. He's awesome. And I have just zero interest in watching Liam Hemsworth take over that role.
Terrible. I could have been on board with someone decent, but like Liam Hemsworth, like that's the best you could do.
Yeah.
That's an all-time downgrade, going from like a massive A-list blockbuster superstar to like the 2nd or 3rd most popular Hemsworth.
The Frank Stallone of the Hemsworth family.
Yeah. He what do you call it? His last big thing was that Quibi show, The Deadliest Man or whatever that was.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was it? The Independence Day Resurgence. He was in that.
That was even before the Quibi thing. So the last thing I remember him from is the Quibi thing, and then he was in like an indie that was kind of good. I forget the name of it. It was like an old west sort of neo-western thing.
The Rock is pulling the strings every time. It's always The Rock.
I could definitely see that happening for sure. The Rock going in and making some influence. But yeah, that's The Witcher. I think both me and Gooch Man have been pissed about that. We didn't get a chance to address it on the last pod.
I mean, whenever a writer's room says they don't like the source material, like you don't say that. Like, just don't say that.
That's like what happened with the Halo show too. Like the showrunner's just like, yeah, I don't really like Halo. It's like, well, why the fuck are you the showrunner on Halo?
Even if that's how you feel, just one of those things. Like you're just setting yourself up for failure. Like your built-in fan base are fans because of the original source material. So why the fuck would you shit on it? Like,
Oh, Chris, I'm curious what you thought about this. This dropped the other day.
Avatar?
Yeah, the new Avatar trailer.
I still think it's going to be good. Now we didn't get into it, but we had a small little back and forth about the trailer where I said I think that it's visually speaking one of the most beautiful trailers I've ever seen. But it is weird to me that 13 years after the original, we've seen 2 trailers and we have no idea what the movie's about. I actually rescind that criticism because I went back and watched the trailer for the first one. That it gives away the entire movie, like almost beginning, middle, and end. You know, like huge shots are spoiled in that original trailer. I still think it's gonna be good. I just so want it to be great. Like that's the. I'm just a little bit underwhelmed. But that doesn't mean it's gonna be bad. I really think when you're going 13 years and you're waiting for the technology to catch up, outside of it looking, and I'm sorry, film, all this stuff is subjective. I was getting comments saying, this looks like shit. No, if you think it looks bad, like visually looks bad, you are wrong. Like you have no idea how CG works and how like the effort that's gone into the underwater stuff and making that movie look the way it looks. I'm rooting for it so much. Because I was thinking about this the other day. James Cameron is the Draymond Green of filmmakers.
How do you figure?
Because all he does is talk that shit, and everyone looks at him and goes, "God, what a giant pretentious asshole!" And yet all he does is keep putting out bangers. It's championship after championship after championship. I want that for him again, but we'll see. I would have liked to have been a little bit more inspired, but I still think it's going to be good. Yeah.
I think the one thing that has me the most excited for it, beyond I agree with you, the visual scope of it was crazy. I don't think you'll find a pound for pound better director of sequels than James Cameron.
I saw that in your blog. That was a really good point. Yeah. 2
of the best sequels of all time, in my opinion, in Aliens and T2, like incredible movies. And both of those are sci-fi. This is obviously sci-fi as well. But so I'm just curious about it. I think it's going to be, I would assume, better than the original, just because of how technology's advanced, and just because I'm assuming he learned from whatever mistakes he may have made in the first one. Yeah. Maybe in this case, it'd be like forging like actual character identity that people like.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the one thing we always talk about with Avatar. It's like you leave that and you don't know anyone's name. Like you couldn't tell you a single character's name I only know now because we've talked about it so much in LCB that Sam Worthington's character's name is Jake Sully. That's it.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I know.
I knew the actors and not the characters. No, I'm with you, dude. And it's I think part of my mild criticism almost doesn't have anything to do with this movie, but the fact that, man, we got 3 more of these after this. Like, why not just make it a trilogy? Like, we're gonna if I'm lucky enough to still be doing this with you guys, I'm gonna be 33 years old talking about the final sequel to a movie that came out when I was 14. Like, I think I worry about the fatigue, but this one just isolated on its own looks, I do believe it'll be quite good.
Yeah, I just have faith in the sequel. I will say, like, he wants 4 avatars or something like that, or 5 avatars. He wants to make 1 million. Yeah,
they're filming 4 right now.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus. Well, we'll see. That's
they're,
the ultimate. We'll see.
They're on schedule.
Yeah.
After being off schedule for so long.
Do you think though? This will be my last point about. Do you think it's gonna do that well?
I think it'll blow up.
I think internationally it dominates.
Okay.
I don't think that sentiment that exists here in our like pop culture reference, like everyone comparing it to other things, which I really hate that, because it's like we can't pretend that blockbusters are an original. Like 99% of blockbusters are not original concepts. They're retreads of
course.
Concepts.
Yeah.
So like when people are like, oh, it's just like Dances with Wolves or Phone Girl, I'm like, well, Dances with Wolves was a retread of other stuff too.
Like
it's just
Fern
like,
Gully.
Yeah, it's like, so like, what are we doing here? But I do think it'll dominate the international market because I don't think it has that stink on it. Like China loved the first one.
Hugely, yeah. Asia's big on it.
And I think people are going to want to, I think if the initial buzz is good, especially, people are going to want to see it on the big screen, and they're going to go out and pay for the premium tickets too. That's also a big part of their box office numbers. You get it you get all those IMAX, those expensive IMAX tickets, and those 40X and those really pricey ass tickets. But
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. I do agree with you, Chris. It can't just be good though.
Yeah,
if it's good, people will still shit on it. It has to be great.
I would say, and you're almost setting yourself up for failure a little bit. I would say it has to be better than the original film.
I think it's very possible too. I think that enough time has passed too, where like people have kind of, I would say, forgotten about what was great about that they'll be renewed. You know what I mean? Like maybe even surprised by how good this one is.
Yeah.
Benjamin, The Lion King, one of the best movies ever, is just animated Hamlet.
Yeah.
Like we cannot pretend that
Star Wars 1 is a direct, like almost plot for plot, bit for bit ripoff of The Hidden Fortress by Kurosawa. Like everyone rips shit off from everybody, whether it's like broad strokes or minute strokes. Like it's just how it goes.
As you do it well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's only so many stories out there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The next thing we had was Aubrey Plaza joining Agatha Coven of Chaos. I don't think you were on yet when we first talked about the Agatha show, Chris. I'm still out on it. I thought that like Catherine Hahn being in WandaVision was good. Like she was a really nice in smaller role in that, in good small doses. I don't think anything she did in that show was like, oh, we should give her her own thing and flesh it out. Like no, what was so great about the character is that it was pound for pound, punch for punch, really nice. You expand it, you draw it out. I'm not so sure about it. Aubrey Plaza joining though, like she's maybe, if you wanted to cast anyone as a witch in Hollywood, like she'd be one of the top ones because she loves that sort of shit. And it's a nice little Parks and Rec reunion as well, because Catherine Hahn played.
Right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, she played the campaign manager of Paul Rudd.
She was hilarious in that. Yeah.
Very funny. So yeah, like I think that's a good combo casting. I'm still kind of out for this series and really just don't want it to be what it is. And I agree with what you just said, Mark. I would have preferred if this was a special. This would be awesome.
Great point.
90 minutes would be awesome for this. Yes.
I'm with you. Because to me, it kind of sets a bad precedent that now every time that we have a standout character in one of these series, are they going to get their own spinoff? You know, like, yeah, I kind of worry about that. I love Catherine Hahn. And I think that was one of the big appeals of making the show, was that not for some reason, I mean, she was great on it. But in WandaVision, people were like, God, you know what? Catherine Hahn's kind of awesome. Like people went back, were like, if she was in this and this and this. I like Aubrey Plaza a lot. There's almost too much of a meta element to that casting. Like it feels so remarkably intentional. But she has proven herself time and time again. She's had such a unique career to me. Because she started as, and I mean this with affection, like one of the most genuine weirdos in Hollywood, and she's gone on to become somebody that can actually be like a legitimately great actress. Like, you know what I think is, and it's sad what became of this director's career afterwards. You know what I think is one of the most underrated movies of the 21st century is Safety Not Guaranteed.
Yeah, really good.
And I thought she was sensational in that. So like, you know, I'll watch her in almost anything, but I am with you, Ken Jack. Like, I'm kind of out on, you know, the consistent, you know, spinoffs of these characters. I just don't know if there's a whole lot you can do.
I'm excited if this opens up the door to get Aubrey Plaza and Elizabeth Olsen on screen together at the same time.
It's true. Ingrid Goes West.
They have some good chemistry together.
Yeah.
That was a good ass movie. Ingrid Goes West.
It was. It just does not feel like. I'm surprised she took this. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It feels like a favor she's doing for someone. It really does not feel like something she would ever be interested in MCU wise. Like when we talk to her, she just her overall vibe does not feel very much she wants to be in blockbuster.
Indie. She's an indie vibe.
She's an indie actress. Exactly. I think as far as she would go is Legion. And I thought she was. Chris, have you ever watched Legion?
I did not, but I heard she
Really
was brilliant in it.
Yeah.
She's brilliant in Legion. Yeah, I can't get excited for this. This is fucking stupid. Call it Agatha. This show is fucking stupid. This is a money grab. We need something to release on Disney Plus every single month so people don't cancel their membership. So we're gonna throw this against the wall and hope that all the Wanda stands just tune in to see if Wanda shows up at any point.
Which she probably will. Well, that's the thing. You talk about a favor. It's probably a favor for Catherine Hahn and Elizabeth Olsen. Just because they all know each other and they're friends and they've worked together. So yeah, I mean, I'm with you, dude. I really think, and the commenter just brought it up, they really need to use Werewolf by Night as a template for this stuff. Like, some characters simply are not interesting enough to be a part of long-term medium. Yeah.
Yep. I think something interesting sort of about this whole thing as far as Aubrey Plaza's like casting is concerned is like either I think it's very sort of it's one of two things. Either they offered her enough money where she couldn't say no, right? That's the thing that happened
a lot lately.
Yeah, either that or the way it was pitched to her is a way in which it's going to be weird enough or sandboxy enough where she's going to be able to do her own thing or like she likes it. I think it's the money thing, but like there's a possibility of it going the other way.
Yeah.
So not sure, but not entirely hopeful.
I love Aubrey, so I'll tune in to see her. I guess I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I like her. That I do like her, but
it's true. Still no Fantastic Forecasting or anything, but thank God we have fucking Agatha Coven of Chaos. Unreal.
It's a bad title.
Speaking of, I guess, Marvel adjacent people, Russo Brothers said that the new Hercules is inspired by TikTok. I have no idea what this means.
What did they mean by that? I don't know what that means.
I have no goddamn clue. I can't make heads or tails. Like, what does it mean inspired by TikTok? Is it like the singing and dancing or like what? What does that mean?
Yeah, if Addison Rae gets announced as one of the main characters in a few days, then we're going to know what they're talking about. But I don't. And they're directing that, right? Or are they just producing?
I think what's her name? Ariana Grande is like wanted to do Meg forever. They did the live action, or not. What did you call it? You remember during COVID they would all do that. They would all do like they would act out movies like over Zoom or whatever. They did that, and Ariana Grande did Meg, and she was awesome as Meg. She's obviously an incredible singer, and like she kind of looks like her too. But I don't know, like who's Hercules, who's Phil, who's all the other people. I don't know.
Dude, you know who's going to play Hercules?
You have to run it back with Danny DeVito for Phil.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
you cannot recast that.
Sorry, saying Chris.
Chris Hemsworth is going to be Hercules.
He should be. Like
he can sing too. Apparently, I don't know if he ever has like publicly, but
let The Rock run it back for as Hercules again.
That movie's one of my like all-time guilty pleasures. I actually like almost unironically like that movie.
Meg, very hot.
Great point. See, Chris, there are hot animated characters out there.
I'm not saying there aren't. I'm just,
Meg was such a dommy mommy.
She was. Oh, either that or Hercules was a big time sub. He was a submissive Herc.
Most guys who work out that much are.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. I'm trying to think of who else they could cast as Hercules that has the singing chops plus that. But like even in Hercules, the movie, the animated movie, I think they had different singers and voice actors.
Yeah, I feel like in the modern age now, that's kind of like
they should cast.
Let me just say no to this right away.
Josh Richards.
Wait, who?
Josh Richards is Hercules.
Josh Richards and Addison Rae.
Yeah,
Hercules and Meg respectively.
Fucking. This I'll say immediate no. I don't want to see Gal Gadot in any movie ever again. I think I'm sad. My limit on Gal Gadot movies has been reached.
They should cast Brie as Meg.
No, dude, I actually you don't like Ariana Grande as Meg?
I just don't like Ariana Grande.
Why? Because she licked the donut that one time?
She just seems insufferable. I don't like
She'd
her.
be a good Meg though. Meg is supposed to kind of be like that.
Yeah, Dave plays Zeus.
I actually kind of love that.
That would actually be awesome.
Dude,
we need to make a graphic with that. That'd be fucking hilarious.
But dude, this I don't know what they're talking about with TikTok. I guess there's if they mean in the way that like I think the best example of a movie that was built and targeted towards a TikTok audience was Malcolm versus the Mitchells, and it actually worked.
It's true.
Where it was like everything was you get probably no more than 30 seconds of that movie without something happening.
You mean Mitchells versus the Machines?
Mitchells versus the Machine.
Did you say Malcolm versus the
I just assumed you meant Mitchells versus the Machines. I don't know if you were trying to combine that in another movie.
Malcolm and Me.
Oh, I want to note this, by the way. James Woods, as much of a shithead he was an awesome Hades. Hades is one of the best characters in animated Disney history.
Oh, no, he's awesome. That's what's weird about that Hercules movie is that, like, it is really disjointed, but there's these moments in it that are, like, him as Hades. The musical numbers, like, and fucking Danny DeVito. Like, there are some really, really great moments in it, but it's not. I don't put it in, like, the top tier of those.
It's just that Hercules kind of stinks. Everything else around him is pretty awesome. You know what I mean? Like, man, I fucking love James. What is that?
Kind of a nerd. That interview only got worse, by the way. If you read it, there's just some stuff they say in there where it's like,
oh no,
fuck it, fucking hell.
Are they, man? You know,
they're talking about like the future of filmmaking, and they're like, there'll come a time where it's like AI and like deep faking is gonna change the way it's gonna change filmmaking. He's like, you'll be watching a movie and it'll be happening around you. You'll be able to pause and say, Tom Cruise, tell me behind the scenes about this scene. And an AI generated Tom Cruise will stop and tell you about the scene. It's like, that sounds fucking terrible. That sounds like a hellscape dystopia. I don't want that at all.
That's horny territory, in my opinion.
I like those guys so much, and I love the interviews you did with them. And look, you know, they got a lifetime pass. I mean, the MCU movies they did are legitimately great. You know,
they get a lifetime pass for Arrested Development.
That too, but the deeper it goes, the more I'm like, do they know what they're doing outside of the confines of the MCU? Like, TBD. Now y'all are looking at me weird. You were the guy.
No. You're.
I'm saying like I don't know if they know what they're doing. I think they're a little overextending themselves outside their wheelhouse
comfortable zone. Comfort zone.
Two people on this podcast like the Gray Man, so I don't.
It was good action. That's my only point with it is that it was solid action. The espionage was okay, but yeah, there was problems with that for sure. Oh yeah, I just love the idea of this AI thing though. Getting like jerk off instructions from
you gotta read these comments. It's like, fuck this. Everything they say, it's like no. You don't want like a JOI from like fucking Bette Midler in the 60s or some shit. I know you're thinking about Bette Midler in the 2010s, maybe.
She's like, oh, Goochman, you've been a bad boy. Like, you'd be going nuts for that. Are you kidding me?
I would.
Yeah.
I would. I'm like Kieran Culkin in Succession.
They did that in what do you call it? Game of Thrones. They ripped that pretty direct, I thought. The scene where like I forget which one it was, like Aemon or Aegon like just jerking off out of the window.
Oh yeah.
House of Dragon, that was crazy. The other thing, speaking of Warner Bros. Did they jerking like out into
Homelander jerked off on top of a building, didn't he?
Yeah, he jerked off on like the Empire State Building or some shit. Yeah, you're right about that. Warner Brothers wants to make new Harry Potter movies. David Zaslav, who's the the Wotes, Zaslav, like everyone, every time he does anything, everyone's like, this sucks. Why are you doing this? This is horrible. He talked to apparently J.K. Rowling about making new movies that would be in the Harry Potter world, not around Harry Potter, like I think in the future. He said, right?
They already.
It just means like new content. I
Yeah.
don't think he means like bring Harry and the gang back.
Yeah,
I don't think
exactly.
they're gonna come back. I think they all, maybe Emma Watson would come back.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think her career has really taken off the way she expected. But
yeah.
I don't see Rupert Grint wanting to come back. He seems very content in indies, and so does Daniel Radcliffe. So yeah.
It just sucks. Like I feel like
I actually
like Potter.
I'll be honest. If they give me prequel stuff with Sirius and James and Lily, young Snape, like that era, like Voldemort's rise, that era, like the rise of the Order too, I would really like that. It just has to be well done. Keep J.K. Rowling the fuck away from the script.
That's the thing. That's the biggest thing.
She's a terrible screenwriter.
Bad screenwriter. Everything she's done post Harry Potter has been bad.
What she's really strong at is world building.
Yes, she's George Lucas.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. Great example. Except George Lucas isn't a turf.
Yeah,
big difference.
There are plenty of writers out there who are, I'm sure, more than familiar with the Harry Potter universe that you could bring in to write some interesting things with J.K. Rowling's approval, because it is, I guess, she probably still owns last say on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how the rights work there, but yeah, I mean, they sooner or later they're going to make new Harry Potter stuff. I don't know if the series is still happening through HBO that they talked about, I think, last year. But, I mean, this is a massive IP. Warner Brothers has to make money. Like, what do you think they're going to do with it? Let it sit on the shelves? So,
I mean, they don't even do that. They take Harry Potter off streaming like every month off of HBO Max. They just brought it back this month. It's crazy. It was gone for like 3 or 4. It's nuts.
I also
got Family in October.
Yeah, actually, that's the only time we see it. I gotta say, we're kind of bearing the lead here because what's his fucking name? Zaslav's comments were so hilariously wrong from a mathematical standpoint.
15 years.
We haven't. It's been 15 years since we've had a Harry Potter movie and 13 years since we've had a Superman movie. It's like, you run a major studio. Like, that is. I mean, that's really not even close to true. The last Harry Potter movie was 11 years ago.
But even then,
no, they did not film Man of Steel 13 years ago.
No, you're right.
Yeah, like he made up 2 numbers. So, no, yeah, we'll see.
This would be kind of cool. I kind of dig this.
That's another idea I've always thought would be interesting.
There's
they don't give you a ton of lore in the books either about them. They don't really give you much. They give you little snippets here and there, but outside of that, not really.
They give you in Chamber of Secrets. They give you a little bit about Slytherin and like the foundation of that. But yeah, no,
you get a little bit of stuff when they get into the Horcruxes. I think the founder of Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff's like tiara is one of the Horcruxes or something.
Yeah, it's the fucking god damn it. It's Godric Gryffindor, Salazar Slytherin. Who's the other one? It's like Ravina Ravenclaw, which
Ravina. It is Ravina.
Yeah. And Horatio Hufflepuff. I don't know.
Nobody gives a shit about Hufflepuff.
Yeah, it's just a fact.
Nobody wants to be in Hufflepuff.
Would make James look like an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's just a jock. And
he's a dick.
Anytime writers try to write jocks, they just write him as dicks.
Helga Hufflepuff. Helga. Okay. That's the worst name of the bunch. I mean, Godric Gryffindor's sick.
I love the world and the universe that's been built. I just don't. My final thought on that is just we don't need J.K. Rowling screenwriting. We saw what happened with fucking Fantastic. I still don't understand how the fuck anyone thought that was a good idea. Fantastic Beast. You picked like the biggest nobody in the universe, and then like, and
they're stretching their 3 movies too. They all stunk.
Imagine if they just made it about Dumbledore from the start, like a young Dumbledore. That would have been good.
Would have been interesting.
That series is very similar to me to the new Star Wars trilogy that was released, where like they keep shifting what the focus is with every single movie. Where it's like it started as, oh, this is the Newt Scamander story. It's like it was so clear there was no genuine direction that they
No thought.
knew that they were going to take it in. And that last one was so bad.
I'll say to this point, I think the reason the first one is good is because it features the one thing we were just talking about that she does well, which is world building. Like she builds out the world of this, of like the 1920s, whatever it was. Like that's done well. But everything after that, when you can no longer like rely on the fresh feeling of that, it kind of goes into the shit. Oh, fucking no matches.
I really love that the George Lucas comparison you made. I love that.
That was brilliant.
That one in my back pocket. I'm gonna save that for later because that's
well, thank you. And it's all. I mean, it's also like the timeline adds up too, because there was 2 decades where George Lucas was the guy that could do no wrong, right? Where he was the genius that created Star Wars. Then he was hated. It's like that with Rowling, and there's differences because there's political ramifications there. I guarantee you, in the next. At some point, like it's going to come full circle again.
All we need is a tape to resurface of George Lucas from the 90s. And he's like, oh, well, I only think there's 2 genders.
Yeah, exactly. In Star Wars lore, there's only 2 genders. So it's incredible.
That just doesn't seem right to me.
I mean, George Lucas is a giant pervert. Like when you go back and watch the original Star Wars,
dude, he made Twi'leks are a race that he specifically made to be sex slaves. Like he is
exactly. There's the Leia bikini, which is the most like gratuitous thing ever put on film. Like it's just so unnecessary. There's a fucking incest storyline halfway through the original trilogy he wrote. Like, he's a big old pervert, but he created Star Wars, so
he creates Star Wars, which again, as we mentioned before, is an almost direct rip, like line for line rip off of The Hidden Fortress by Kurosawa, who he loved. So anyway, then we can get into our draft of we're saying it's singer / musician, whatever, musical artist / actors. Yes, by the way, this is sick. If it's true, I don't trust the source that much as far as from what I saw. I think it was like Illuminati or something. And
if you don't know who Daphne Keane is, the girl from Logan,
yeah.
Who I thought was incredible
she's
child.
That's one of the best. His Dark Materials, is that what you're saying?
His Fart Materials, I was gonna say, yeah, as in LCB lore. Fucking that show. I want to get into it really bad. Which, by the way, I didn't know this. That it's related to the Golden Compass, that Daniel Craig movie. I didn't realize they were the same thing. I had no idea.
Wow. Okay.
I only just found that out. I don't pay attention to Dark Materials or anything that like feels remotely steampunk. I'm usually just like hands off from this. I don't like that sort of thing. X2 is her name. She's got 2 bucks.
I thought it was X22.
No, wait.
X2 was the movie.
I thought that was her name too, though.
No, I think you're right, Chris.
I mean, it doesn't. Who cares? But
it's 20. Logan.
He's gonna bother me if I don't find out now.
Or was that the what do you call it? His like cloned Logan. X23.
Oh,
there it is.
Yeah, damn, we were so close. Shit, yeah. Okay, so anyway,
she's gonna come back as X45.
Yeah. What do we got? Okay, yeah. So the draft. We're doing musical artists / actors. I pre-made the order in the list randomizer. It's Chris, then me, then Robbie. So Chris, you get first overall. You look happy. You look like you getting a big guy off your board.
Who he's gonna take. I know who he's gonna take.
I think, yeah. It's gonna get so many people so mad on the graphic when they see it.
Oh, I love it. Take it.
But given the history of LCB lore, you have to go Jeremy Renner.
Oh, you're taking Renner? I didn't think you were gonna go Renner.
That's awesome.
Renner, he's got some decent songs.
I know people when you show the graphic, people are gonna say, "Why that fucking idiot took Jeremy Renner with the first pick?" I like my potential draft. I think that I'm gonna have like some good picks here, but I'm playing the heel role just for half a second. I'm looking at my potential list.
He's one of the best actors that was like available. Like in terms of pure acting ability, for as much shit as you want to give Jeremy Renner, he's a good actor.
Dude, Wind River, he rocked, and that's his song that he released. I legitimately like.
I like it too. Yeah, that thing only took on a different life because of the weird app. It wasn't like it was. I mean, it was like generic rock, whatever, but it was just. It took on a life of its own because the stupid app that he had. So
me and Jeff destroyed that app. We almost single-handedly between the two of us demolished God knows how much work put into that
We
app.
could afford a second producer. You guys had sunk so much fucking money in the Renner.
It's it. Like I spent, I want to say $200 at least on stars for the Jeremy Renner app, which makes your comment go immediately to the top of the list. Where we were commenting as, was it Dennis Franz from NYPD Blue and Casey Anthony and Ben Affleck and all the fake accounts we made.
Welcome to Biden's America. Renner star is worth more than a US dollar.
I needed to come back so bad. That was a great time. But I love Jeremy. I love that. I think that's a solid pick. For a split second, when you said LCB lore, I was very, very afraid that you were about to somehow weasel your way into picking James Corden. And I was like, please fucking don't do it. Don't do it.
Corden, right? Because he doesn't have actual music.
He's a Broadway actor, but I didn't. That never occurred to me because I don't. To me, my criteria for this list is like you need to have released a song or an album at some point.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't. I don't. Maybe he did something overseas, but I can't put Corden in that category.
I forgot about Happy Wednesday. That was a great time. Wednesdays were great. Okay, for my pick, I think I'll go with Donald Glover. I think Donald Glover, he's, as far as like hyphenate talents, like he is a legitimately very good actor, and he is also an incredibly good musical artist. So I feel like for this draft's sake, he fits the criteria maybe better than anyone else for a first round pick, other than Jeremy Renner, obviously. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Donald Glover. I mean, I love basically everything he's ever done. Like, it's very tough for me to find stuff that Donald Glover has made, whether it's, again, music or anything he's been an actor in, and where I'm like, oh, he stinks, he did this bad. Yeah. So yeah,
he's in the Jamie Foxx school of just be good at fucking everything you do.
Multi-hyphenate, baby. I love that word.
He is so good. Have you ever watched like his early skits that he made like for YouTube?
Oh, Derek Comedy?
Yeah, very funny. They're very funny.
We should post one of those.
It's like 5 years before he was on Community. Like he's young. Yeah.
You see the one where he plays a high schooler in class and he shits his pants.
I don't remember that one. No, I remember the dead body one where if I have a dead body in the basement or something.
I gotta watch these. I'm gonna
watch There's multiple guys from that troupe that ended up like doing various things like in television or in it was kind of like a like Upright Citizens Brigade or something. Like they had they had a few guys that stood out.
Yeah, he's funny too. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he's like Jamie Foxx, where he can do he can do actual stand up, not just be funny. Like he can do fucking stand up like a full set.
He was great as Lando. Lando's the highlight of
good
Solo,
singer,
obviously.
Good rapper, good. I mean, yeah,
good everything.
Yeah. My first pick. This gets tough. I got a lot of good names here.
I know. It's a struggle.
I'm gonna go Jack Black.
Okay.
I love Jack Black.
Fuck, that was a great pick for the graphic, you son of a bitch.
Damn it. Very funny. I don't know if he's ever had a dramatic turn in his career where he really shows off tremendous acting chops, like Oscar-worthy acting chops. But I think he's such a great comedic actor that he could if he wanted to. Like we talked about before, if you're a really, really good comedic actor, you have it in you to probably turn out a dramatic performance if you want to do it. Like,
I don't know if you would consider Bernie that, but like Bernie was probably the closest I can remember him getting to that.
The Holiday.
It was still like pretty funny ass movie anyway. So
King Kong.
But yeah, I mean he's amazing. He's like I mean School of Rock is just so fucking funny.
One of the best movies.
That's one of the best.
That's
one of the best comedic performances of all time.
Yeah,
I love that one.
It's so endearing. He's so endearing in everything he does.
Yeah,
and in real life. And I really like. I actually do like Tenacious D's music quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like Kickapoo. I still throw that through my like workout mix. Like very fun song.
He's got a great voice.
And then are we looping back around? Are we snaking?
Yes. Are you getting Kyle Gass with him as well? Or whatever his name. That's his name, right?
No,
his partner.
No, I don't really want him to be honest.
No
bald men on my graphic.
Jesus.
I'm trying to think of who would be taken. Fuck it, I'm going Will Smith.
Yeah,
he's not.
I'm surprised that didn't go first round, to be honest. Yeah.
It's because he slapped Chris Rock, so he's canceled now.
Yeah, he's never going to be in a movie or show again.
He is. I don't think kids today understand how big Will Smith was in the 90s. Like just how everywhere he was. Like he was such a phenomenon like in music, in terms of rap music, as the family friendly person, which if you had parents that were any kind of strict, Will Smith was a rapper you were allowed to listen to, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many people who have ever been more charismatic than he was on Fresh Prince. I rewatched the first 3 seasons over the summer. I throw it on in the background. I mean, he's just the fucking man. And then he can turn out dramatic stuff also. I mean, I Am Legend. King Richard was obviously phenomenal too. Yeah. He's got it in him. Yeah, Will Smith.
That's a great pick.
Great
He's
pick.
like another great like multi-hyphenate from the 90s.
And can I also say I still really like Will Smith.
I do too. I think
I just you know what? Look,
I don't like his kids. I don't like his all family dynamic. But I think he's
I don't want to hear anything about his personal life ever again, but I still like him.
I think he's probably a good person, to be honest. Like
me too. I and part of it is the image, but I mean, you bring up the 90s, even into the 2000s. Like I Am Legend and Hancock were movies that were successful like 6 months apart from each other simply because he was in them. Like it was just he had that run where he had like 5 or 6 movies that were released on the 4th of July and they were all massive hits. Like, you know, he was the biggest movie star in the world for 5 to 10 years. Yeah.
Nope. All right, so I'm back up, right? So I'm going to pick a younger choice here. I guess Zendaya, I think.
Wow.
Great musical artist. And she's also like, if you watch Euphoria, she is absolutely incredible. She is legitimately very talented actress.
I think she's a very good actress. I don't know any of her music.
You would know it if it's one of those things where like you hear the music and like you'll recognize it. You know what I mean? Like it's not like there's other picks on here that have like songs where it's like they stick out to you.
I have her version of All of Us from Euphoria. Her version is very good.
She's a great singer and great actor. It's incredible.
Outside of that, yeah, no. Did you like what was the movie?
Greatest Showman.
She was hardly in that though. I didn't like the way they positioned her in that movie.
That sucked.
That was kind of weird. Malcolm and Marie. That was the movie I was trying to think of.
She was still good in that. Like even if the movie itself didn't totally like I don't know, have cohesion or whatever you want to call it, she rocked in that.
I liked her and John David Washington. The characters annoyed the shit out of me in that movie. They were just a bunch of emo bitches, but
very emo.
Besides that, she was great. That was an excellent performance.
Good for Tom Holland too.
Yeah.
Good for
Short King as well.
Good for him.
Yep. Zendaya for me. Chris, you have back to back.
Okay, back to back here. He was mentioned earlier, and I thought maybe you would go with him, Gooch. Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you talk about a triple hyphenate, like you could go quadruple with this because it's okay. You could say whatever about his music. I mean, Blame It on the Alcohol is still a fucking banger.
Yeah. I mean, Gold Digger.
Yeah, right.
Great,
when he chooses to be in good movies, like he knocks it out of the park almost every time.
Dude, Django is unreal. He's good in that.
He's got range too.
Yeah.
You go from Django and then
Horrible Bosses, one of the funniest little bits ever.
Motherfucker
Jones. That's one of the funniest. Like that movie's so fucking good. Horrible Bosses is so funny. It's crazy. I just wish fucking Kevin Spacey wasn't in it because people, I think, would look back way more positively.
The fucking scene where he's describing how he got his name, and he's just I put my fingers into her purse and I really fucked her for that, or something. Yeah. Like I stole some money out of her wallet or something like that.
Yeah.
And
what was the movie he references too? He's like Snow on Cedars. He's like I had to steal this. It was I pirated an Ethan Hawke movie. That's why I got arrested.
It's the most niche reference.
Yeah, it was like snow falling on cedars or some shit, and they're just like. It's like you pirated an Ethan Hawke movie, and he's like, "Oh, so you do know the movie?" Like, that's it, dude. He's so good in that.
And also, I mean, not to say that this plays into the draft, but a brilliant impressionist.
Yes,
like just he does, and it's so bizarre because he didn't bring it out until like a month ago. The best Trump impression I've ever heard.
Really?
Oh my god, dude! I'm about to send it to. He does the whole. He does every mannerism. Excuse me, and like talking about COVID and shit, and just saying stuff like they tried to give me the virus. Let me find it and I'll send it to you.
I'm playing one right now. I gotta.
The top video where it just says,
Wait. All right, I'm gonna share my screen.
yeah.
Holy shit!
It's uncanny. Yeah, you go ahead and share if you want.
Yeah, I wonder if I can share it if the musical or the sound will play. Let me see.
I
people on both sides. I know Ariel. He's a great person. He couldn't vote for me at the time. Now he can vote for me once he gets out. I love Snoop Deal Double G. Great person.
So do you love Death Row Records?
I love Death Row. I love Death. Excuse me.
That's
Unreal.
Yeah, incredible.
I saw him do Robert Downey Jr. once, and it was literally like I was listening to him speak.
Yeah, it was on Rogan where he was talking about Tropic
Yeah.
Thunder. Or no, I think he was talking about the soloist, but they were discussing Tropic Thunder. Yeah, I'm to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised he dropped because
the only thing that held me back from taking him was I'm not as big of a fan of his music.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
I think it'd be hard. I think we'd be hard pressed to find a more talented person in the world. Like,
Yeah.
in terms of entertainers, like, because like you said, it can do everything. Like,
Yeah.
everything.
And now it's back to me.
I want to
There's a
know
lot-
too. That for the first time ever, I started watching the Jamie Foxx show on HBO.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never watched an episode of it before. It is so goddamn funny. It
Is
is
it really?
really funny, and he's really damn good in it across the spectrum.
Is Martin in that too? Who else? Is in
I'm not far enough into it to know. There's no one else I recognize other than him, and maybe the guy who plays his
that
uncle.
one
I forget.
stand-up he did where he just absolutely eviscerated that guy? Oh,
and the roast.
this is
Yeah.
your conscience.
Mr. Conscience speaking.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Sorry, Chris.
No, it's okay. Back to me for my second pick here. I'm gonna go with a guy that has weirdly, in my opinion, almost become underrated because I feel like his last 4 or 5 years, people have kind of ripped him, and I've heard a lot of accusations. They don't think he's a very good actor, but I think in my generation, I was born in 1995. He's gonna be remembered as like one of the like real entertainers. Justin Timberlake.
Wow. Yeah.
I think like he had his peak. Like the Future Sex album was incredible.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes he gets a bad rap for his acting. Like he's not a powerhouse actor, but he does have a lot of natural charisma. And honestly, like, sorry, but he was great. He was great in The Social Network, and that is, in many ways, in a lot of people's opinion, I don't necessarily disagree. Maybe the best movie of the 21st century. Like, I mean, it's up there at least to the last 10, 15 years. So, though I think it's actually over 10 years old now. So yeah, and like halftime at the Super Bowl, Grammy-winning artist, been in films that were nominated for Oscars. Always like JT, man.
Palmer was a good movie. Yeah, I did want to note on that. That was from the Apple TV movie. From
I heard that was
last
good
year.
too. Yeah. So
Solid.
yeah, and like he became one of those event artists. Like I was in high school when the 2020 Experience came out, and it was one. I remember when he dropped like his announcement, people were like, "Oh shit!" Like,
yeah.
Timberlake's back.
I think people have forgotten he's taken a little bit of a backseat lately, but I think it's because he had kids and they both took a step away from their careers. And then Jessica Biel, right?
Yeah.
That's who he's married to.
Yeah.
But I could see him coming back now and really turning up the acting. Honestly, putting the music career kind of behind him. I mean, Future Sex Love. I mean,
so good, and
Timberland
also
was just on people. Timberland,
Yeah.
everything he put out was so good.
Yeah.
and also probably one of the 5 best SNL hosts of all time.
He is great
He's
comedic
one
chops.
of the best. That I am under the belief that's what made him a star. Like I know his first album was really well received. I think it was Justified was the name of it. But like when he hosted SNL for the first time, and people were like, dude, this guy is self-deprecating and he's actually like genuinely funny. And that led to him and Jimmy Fallon becoming like really good friends. Like I don't know. I just like the dude. I've always liked it.
He had a little bit of a rep in the early 2000s as like a pop. I mean, he was a pop star guy who dated Britney Spears, and like that comes with the territory of a lot of like the older generation not liking you, or just the general population, just like dudes in their 20s like us, thinking, "Oh, pop star just stupid." But like, imagine if Harry Styles went on SNL and was extremely funny.
Yeah.
I was just about you. He was what Harry Styles is now, where people dislike him just because he's so good looking and talented and it's attractive.
Yeah, like imagine if Harry Styles went on SNL and delivered like Lonely
a
Island,
box,
like
or-
taking a
yeah.
box, like those Lonely Island sketches, or Bring It On Down to Burgerville, or whatever.
Yeah,
all those
man.
great sketches he had. Like people would immediately flip over to Harry Styles, and everyone would like him. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's a good pick.
Thank you.
Really good pick. Yeah. He was so absurdly influential during that period where he was just dropping those like Timberland bangers and all that.
Yeah.
It is, people just forget about it. And I think part of it is just when he slowed down, and then like he released that song of the summer. I want to say it was like 3 or 4 years ago. It was Can't Stop the Feeling or something.
Yeah.
Where it sounded in my brain, I'm like, I listened to it and I'm like, this was made in a factory.
I
It was
hate
made in a factory to be played in H&M's while people shop. Like
And it was also made for like an animated DreamWorks movie.
Yeah,
it's made for trolls. Yeah. It's like,
My niece loved that. She loves Trolls. I would love it. She's 7 now, so she's grown out of it. But she loved it so much, and we had to listen to that fucking song nonstop. Oh my god, that song gives me nightmares.
all right.
Remember when David Katzenberg laid off all of Quibi and told them to listen to the Trolls soundtrack?
Yes. Fuck, man. I was just talking to someone about Quibi.
What a power move.
Oh wait, no, we were just talking about Quibi. God, my brain is shot. We were just talking about how Liam Hemsworth was in that Quibi movie or whatever that was. That Katzenberg thing where it was like his introductory press conference for like he was basically introducing Quibi to everybody, and he goes like, before I thought of this, I was reading a book, The Da Vinci Code, and I was like, I finished a chapter, and I was like, wouldn't people want to like watch movies like or watch TV shows like this? I'm like, yeah, that's an episode. You're describing an episode of television, not cutting an episode into a 5-minute segment. What are you talking about, you fucking lunatic? And now he probably got a golden parachute or whatever to dump it all off. And I think they sold their entire content library to Roku for like,
Yeah, they did.
They had like a $2.5 million valuation, I think, and they sold for like $100 million.
The only reason I know that too is because if you don't, I don't know if you guys have Roku's, but if you're inactive on the Roku for long enough, the Roku City pops up, which is electric. I love Roku City. It's just like a little background that plays, but they'll have like little billboards in the background. The billboards will have like the Roku originals on them, and they're all these like just dumped on Quibi shows. Like,
yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, that's a great pick, Timberlake. For my pick, it's really hard because like there's some people on here that are legitimately talented, and then other people that would win me this graphic. But I don't know which one I want. I know which one of those things are more interesting to me. I'll go with Selena Gomez. I'll take Selena Gomez. I know Gooch was on Gooch's big board. Selena Gomez,
her round ass head.
Selena Gomez, I think most people maybe think of as like Wizards of Waverly Place or whatever, some shit. She's a legitimately very talented actress. Like she's been in a bunch of movies since then. Like was it the Something of Caring with Paul Rudd and a couple other people? The Fundamentals of Caring. She was incredible in that. She's amazing in basically every movie I've seen her in. And she's also an incredible singer. She's a really, really good singer. Like she makes
like music,
and she has like breaks between, like she had a big break between that last album and the one before it or whatever. And like it's just amazing songs. Really, really good music. Really, really like that. It's her. So gotta put her on.
We got Zuck in the chat.
Smoking those meats. That was a fun edit.
Got Sweet Baby Ray's.
Sweet Baby Ray's. But yeah, I'll go with Selena Gomez. I think she rocks. Her cooking show is also very fun. I watched that for a little bit when it came out on HBO.
Have you watched Only Murders season 3 yet?
Not the latest season. But
2.
She's obviously very good in. She was really good in season 1. I didn't watch the second one yet. I heard no people didn't love it.
Cara Delevingne showed up episode.
Yeah,
I was like, this is gonna be tough. And by episode 2, I really don't like Cara Delevingne as an actor.
You know what sucks is that I think in interviews it comes across like a very sincere, like funny person.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen her in anything where I thought she gave a good performance.
What was that one where her and Dane DeHaan? What an awful casting that was. That could have been a really good movie.
All time Nepo baby too. I'm pretty sure she's Tom Ford's niece or something.
Yeah.
What was that one with Dane? It wasn't Cure for Wellness, was it?
No. It was the space one. Her and
fuck
that. Which I actually like that movie. I do like that movie. Valerian's kind of cool.
Valerian
in the Something of Planets or whatever that was. Yeah.
City of a Thousand Planets.
City of a Thousand Planets. And there was like Rihanna played like a squid in it. Like it was just the movie could have been. It just did not need to have Dane DeHaan or her in it. Like it needed to have different actors. Yeah, a little bit of miss. That was Gore Verbinski, right?
No, that Gore Verbinski was Cure for Wellness. Luc Besson was
Luc Besson. Yeah, he's the dude who did Fifth Element, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it all.
Who I
It all checks.
kind of think is a bit of a hack.
Dude.
Yeah.
And again, to the Selena Gomez point, certified banger, "Lose You to Love Me," incredible song. I could listen to that on repeat like every single day. Robbie, you back to back.
Hmm.
This is where it gets hard. The pool is very top heavy. I will note that.
I'm gonna go Lady Gaga.
She's a bad actress. I disagree with that.
I think she
even Star is Born.
I think she was good in A Star is Born.
Yeah, I thought she was amazing in that.
And I haven't watched her season of American Horror Story, but people do say she is very good in America. Her season of American Horror Story is very good.
Won a Golden Globe for it.
I feel like every time she's forced to show human emotion, she comes off as very hammy to me. Like even in Star is Born, like there's the scene where like Jackson Maine like insults her in the bathtub or whatever, and then like afterwards he goes and meets her at the dance studio and like he apologizes to her and she like takes him back. That scene is like about as bad an acting performance as you can get watching Lady Gaga in that. And like even in the other sequences, like where she's like finds out he's dead and like breaks all this shit. Like, yeah, I think this is just it. Like she's an incredible performer, and like the moments where she goes on stage, like, yeah, that's super powerful because that's what she does. Like that's her thing. She's done that in real life. But the drama acting, I think, from her is very bad. And like that includes in what was that Ridley Scott?
House of Gooch.
The House of Gooch.
I think she's bad in that.
Yeah, she was
but she's
no
I
good
think,
in that.
I think she's gonna turn it around with her next thing. I think Joker 2. What Folie à Deux? Folie à Deux.
Folie à Deux. I'm going to Montreal in a couple of weeks, by the way, and I realized not like a lot of places just don't use English at all. Like they just do straight up French, which I probably should have anticipated to a degree, and I just don't know a lick of it. So that's gonna be fun.
What a weird combo! You got just the nicest people on earth using an accent in a language that is created by the meanest people on earth.
Meanest.
Oh, you stupid fat American.
Oh, I can't wait. They see me come like waddling down the rue de whatever. They're gonna be so pissed off. Like, you guys have any fries here?
Little tiny hat. Stupid.
Yeah. No, but here's the thing. Yeah, they all speak French, but I assumed it would be like when you go to a European country and like they obviously the primary lingua franca, whatever is their primary thing, but they have English underneath everything. Not the case from what I've seen in Montreal. Just like looking at places, it's just like, oh, you speak English, you're fucked. Like, you're just get out of here. So yeah, but I feel like that's gonna be a fun trip. Apparently, it's like the European city of the U.S. or the.
I think Lady Gaga might be the best singer on the list. Like, she's got an all-time voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
She can fucking belt it.
And she has written and performed one song that won the Oscar. It wouldn't surprise me if she ends up with two, because I thought the song she did for Top Gun Maverick was awesome as well. So
yeah, that was good.
Yeah, remarkable talent for sure.
Great voice talent, and great entertainer. Like one of the better entertainers on this list, I would say as well.
Yeah.
Next up,
remember when she dove off the stage at the Super Bowl?
Very funny.
It was a pretty good halftime performance.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a good halftime. Just that one bit was funny.
Fuck. Would this count? I don't want to do this. I was gonna say Steve Martin, but I don't think he counts.
Grammy. You know what? It was gonna be my next pick. He's a Grammy nominated artist.
He is, but like he doesn't like sing. Like he's not in the. I don't know how to explain it. I don't feel like that. That's not in the spirit of what we're doing. I don't feel like.
Wait, sorry. What'd you pick? I missed it.
I was contemplating Steve Martin, but I don't know if that because he's not a singer.
Music was part of his act, but I wouldn't consider him a singer. You know what I mean? Like him playing the banjo while telling a joke is like calling like Bo Burnham a musician or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like that. I agree with you. I don't think it takes the spirit.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Frank Sinatra, who I do think. I mean he's got some stuff.
Baby.
On the Town is one of my favorite. This is what it really comes down to. On the Town is one of my favorite musicals of all time. I really loved that movie growing up. My dad really loved that movie. Watched it a ton. And obviously Frank Sinatra is just, I mean, goes without saying, all-time crooner. If you've ever eaten at a fucking Italian restaurant, you know his entire discography. So yeah.
Yep. If your Italian restaurant doesn't have some sort of framed picture of Sinatra on the wall, like you're about to eat some disgusting garbage. But yeah, that's a solid pick. I wouldn't think of him as a particularly strong actor, but all-time cool dude. Well, okay, wait, no, let me rephrase that. Maybe a bit of a wife beater.
Problematic, probably. My last pick
yeah.
probably will end up being problematic too. But
yeah, but I would say as far as like Music wise, like obviously legendary. So
Yeah. Manchurian Candidate.
Manchurian Candidate. Frank Sinatra. Yes, this is true. He is he's famous for playing Frank Sinatra in every role he's ever done, including Ocean's 11. Okay, for mine, I'll go with. This is a person who I think is a powerhouse in both categories, and that's Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson,
Yeah.
insane vocal talent as a singer, and also absolutely insane actress. For whatever that's worth, I feel like she should have almost been higher. I'm almost upset with myself for not drafting her ahead of.
I think she has an EGOT too, right?
She's an EGOT, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. That performance in Dreamgirls,
dude, unreal how good she was in that. And that was like her first role. Like,
it was.
Yeah,
It was. She was just like this person who was on American Idol one time, and she got that role and won an Oscar for it.
I have a funny story about this.
Win American Idol. Isn't that fucking insane?
She finished 7th with that voice.
I have a funny story about this with Schwartzman. So Schwartzman's a drummer for a band called Phantom Planet, which is like a punk band, and they used to be the main act, and they would have this band that would perform ahead of them called Kara's Flowers in the 90s. And that band, like, they were a solid punk band. They did okay and everything, and then they had they kind of broke apart, got new members, and came back. And that band, Kara's Flowers, got a new name and became very famous. It was Maroon 5. So,
really?
Maroon 5 used to be the opener for Jason Schwartzman's band, Phantom Planet, which is crazy.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
I feel like Jason Schwartzman falls into that category, though, where I really wouldn't consider him a musician.
Yeah.
Not in the sense of what we're thinking.
That's all to say that Jennifer Hudson is an incredible actress, and beyond that, obviously an incredible vocal talent. I would say, to the point of your pick with Lady Gaga, I would say her voice, like Lady Gaga's voice and Jennifer Hudson's voice, are like in different sort of spheres, but yeah. But I would say that Jennifer Hudson's a better actress, so that's where I would have her higher than Gaga. But yeah, Chris, you got back to back to round out your team.
This is very tough because I'm trying to think of the graphic here. I considered Taylor Swift, but here's the issue I have.
Cats.
I think she's a bad actress.
That's the problem. Is Taylor Swift okay? Taylor Swift, I think, is a shitty actress and not even really that great of a vocalist. And if I die tomorrow, Kelly Keegs did it for saying that. But she's an incredible songwriter and a great talent. My list, I'm trying to mix people who Renner, Fox, Timberlake. They're all quite good in both departments. And so I'm going to go with a guy who did release an album at one point. And if you want to throw an executive decision out there and shoot it down, you can. Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Wrote an album right before it was in the Shaggy Dog days, right before he was in that movie, I think, where he wrote an album, has performed on stage before, and his acting talent speaks for itself. And I'm really glad he's done with Iron Man. That was a perfect arc. But the one downside is that I'm looking forward to Oppenheimer, and I hope he's in it a lot because I just miss seeing that guy in movies, man. I miss seeing him on press tours. He's one of my favorite actors to listen to talk. It's one of my favorite Rogan episodes, was just him kind of just talking about movie making and his story. Very talented guy, overlooked probably as a musician, but an official, credentialed musician. Now, my last pick.
I want to note this. I rewatched Chaplin for the first time in a while the other day, and it is incredible how good he was when even that age, still young, full piss and vinegar, whatever, incredibly good. He's also in that sphere of actors that released albums that you wouldn't know released albums, where it's Bruce Willis had an album, Clint Eastwood had an album. I feel like a couple other people we wouldn't forget. Duchovny, maybe. Fuck, there's more. There's got to be more. I don't remember what Bruce Willis is. I know Joe Pesci made an album.
Eddie Murphy.
And Eddie Murphy for sure.
Yeah.
Joe Pesci's one I remember was very funny. If you ever go back to listen to that, very good time. But yeah, sorry, your second one.
Okay, I almost considered was because I think that she's a tremendous actress, and I do like some of her music too. Was Haley Steinfeld?
Yeah.
And also she's just Haley Steinfeld's in my top 10, but that's not who I'm going with. because I want it to look good on the graphic. And I'm playing into the history of this show. Jared Leto.
Damn. Damn.
Because the
30 Seconds to Mars is awesome. Like, that's not a bad pick.
Mars is good. 30 Seconds to Mars is like actually good.
Here's the weird thing about Jared Leto is like, okay, he's a grade A weirdo and he may allegedly run a cult. Overlook that for a second because he became the meme and now he's like trying to play into the meme with Morbius, which is like, yeah, you know what? But there was like in 2013, the general belief among most people is that Jared Leto is like one of the most talented people in the world. Like this was 30 Seconds to Mars was putting up bangers and he just won an Oscar he totally deserved, by the way.
Yes, very well earned.
Him and McConaughey in that movie were fucking amazing. Like you could say he's a weirdo. A heavy majority of these people on this list are weirdos. The entertainers are weirdo. But he is an undeniably talented person. I think he has given some really bad performances is his one issue. Is he's either hitting home runs or striking out. But I think it's going to look good on the graphic. And I do think he's bizarrely become underrated in terms of how we view his talent. Because I do think he's a legitimately a marvelously talented human being that just kind of gets railroaded for a lot of weird shit that he says and does.
He needs such specific roles is the only thing.
Yes.
He can't, he's not a guy you can really throw into many leading roles at all. As we saw.
Great supporting.
But he can slide in is like, he slides in very well. Like his side character in Fight Club, 2049, he was
American Psycho.
Yeah, like he fits in very well into those smaller roles. No, he is a very talented actor.
I think he needs a director too who can pull him aside and say like, the Joker totally ruined him. Like, because it was right after he won the Oscar.
I'll do that. Yeah, I will.
Oh yes, okay, that's perfect. You see, I knew it would play well on the ground.
Carried that movie, carried it.
Yeah. So no, that's my pick there. I'm pretty happy with that one. I'm pretty happy with this list.
It's a pretty good team. Fuck. Now I'm in a bind because there's a couple ones where again I know it could win me points graphic wise, but now that you said Haley Steinfeld, I'm like, fuck, I want to steal it from Gooch pretty badly. But I didn't even have her on my list, which is almost like I feel like it would be disrespectful to do that because I didn't even think of her, even though she's incredible on both fronts. Fuck, who do I pick? So for me, it's between two people. One of them is Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg, obviously, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch group.
Come on.
Like that. That sounds like fun to do. Like it's a bop.
Yeah. I used to play that. If I was on a road trip with my friends, the second we saw the city, I'd make them play that song. I was like, "We're here, boys. We're here. Let's go."
I mean, he's an awesome action star. Like for when the movies work, I guess if you want to call it that. Yeah. Like he's good at dramatic acting when he wants to be. Like there's certain roles where I think he really.
Side note, did you see they're releasing a PG-13 cut of Father Stew?
Father Stew.
Yes.
Like
Thank
December
God.
15th.
That's for the Christian crowd, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like Kirk Cameron really pushed for that. It seems like something he would do.
I wonder what we have. Yeah, so Departed would be my number one thing where I'm like, pound for pound, he's like the best thing of that movie. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights, he's insanely good.
He's very good in Boogie Nights.
I want to see what my rankings are of Mark Wahlberg's. Other guys, incredible comedic chops in that.
Adam Sandler doesn't have a studio album, I don't think, does he?
Maybe he had one for Three Kings he was awesome in. The Fighter, he was great. The Italian Job.
Yeah, I forgot The Fighter. He was very good in The Fighter.
He was excellent in The Fighter.
Dude, he is so like even like you go down the list of like I Heart Huckabees and Instant Family, those are still really damn fine movies.
Funny in The Other Guys, very funny.
Very funny in The Other Guys. So like it's for me a battle between him and Tim McGraw. And Tim McGraw, incredible artist. And he also is really good at acting. Like he's in the Yellowstone spinoff 1883. He's really good in it. Like he's awesome.
Really? That doesn't surprise me. He was Friday Night Lights. He was
Friday Night Lights.
He was a showstopper in that movie.
He was terrifying in that movie.
Yeah.
Yep. And he was in The Blind Side too. Like that's where I'm stuck on it. Where like both of these have like the flip problem where it's like Tim McGraw's musical career is wildly more successful.
Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg's acting career is wildly more successful. So it's like which one of these do I pick? I think between those two, I'd have to go Tim McGraw. So I think Tim McGraw, pound for pound, is just like he is a more talented individual among the if I had to pick between both of them. So I'm gonna go with Ole McGraw versus what was Mark Wahlberg's like workout routine or his daily routine? It was very. Do you remember this?
He's like wake up at 5, workout, pray for like an hour.
Yep.
Eat, workout again. Like, this is all before 9 a.m. too. Golf, I think, was on the list too. Golfing.
I'm gonna present
like
it.
11 a.m. tea time or something.
Have you ever seen this, Chris?
Oh yeah. No, I that gets overshadowed to me by the time he said he would have stopped 9/11.
So wake up, prayer time, breakfast, workout, post-workout meal, shower, golf, snack, cryo chamber recovery, snack. He has an 11 a.m. like a 2-hour block for family time and meetings. Then lunch, meetings, pick up kids at school, snack, workout 2, shower, dinner, family time, and then bedtime.
This man is fucking Goku. All he does is train and eat.
That's why he looks like this, I guess. Dude, he's doing 2-a-days. The man is doing 2-a-days at age like I don't know what he is like now, almost 50 or past 50. Jesus.
Oh, he's got to be past 50, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Alexa, how old is Mark Wahlberg? Sorry if I just
he's in his 50s. I don't have that.
59?
I was gonna say he's got to be close to 60.
Holy shit, dude. That's crazy. I guess that makes sense just based off of like when he became popular and all that.
Jay saying he didn't care
that Mark Wahlberg beat up a Vietnamese guy and blinded him because he was Vietnamese.
It was Boston.
Yeah, it's like it's 80s. It was Boston. It's not a big deal. What? That shit was very funny. But yeah,
if you don't know what happened, we explained to Shay had no clue about Mark Wahlberg's arrest.
Right. Yeah.
And Shay just didn't care one bit. He's like,
We did it was the bracket was celebrities you wouldn't want to be stranded on an island with, and one of the options I included was Mark Wahlberg if you're an Asian person. And Stephen Shea was just like, hey, I don't care, dude. It was Boston was the 80s, like shit happens.
It's
like,
so weird because he got so
wasn't this Asian.
Yeah.
He got so like not upset, but like there was some legit tension between him and Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
On the yak, but that one.
Yeah, and I guess right now, to Shay's point, it isn't Boston in the 80s now. Yeah, so maybe that's that is really the only difference maker for Shay. Robbie, your last pick.
I'm going Steinfeld. She's youngest person on my list, but I think she deserves it. Obviously, fucking incredible. I think she's a really good actress.
She's a way better actress than she is musician, which is one reason why I didn't go with her.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of her music, but I do think it has its place. I mean, what did she? Yeah, nominated for an Academy Award. What was she?
Yeah,
12.
She was like 13.
True Grit, right?
Yeah. Which that True Grit movie is, I think, underrated.
Dude, it's awesome. It's really
for some reason very overlooked despite the massive cast.
Coen Brothers, massive cast. Yeah, it should have been huge.
It did get really well received when it came out.
But just like from general public, I feel like.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. And then she's very charismatic where she can carry those roles. Like Bumblebee. I think she fit in well in the MCU. I really liked Hawkeye. Not really liked it, but I think it's fun.
I really liked it.
I'll definitely, I think, rewatch it this Christmas. I think it plays well at Christmas. And it's got to be said, she's really hot. She's really, really hot. Like, yeah. So, yes,
this is true. All right, so our final teams are Chris. You have Jeremy Renner, Jamie Foxx, Timberlake, RDJ, and Jared Leto. I have Donald Glover, Zendaya, Selena Gomez, Jennifer Hudson, and Tim McGraw. Robbie, you have Jack Black, Will Smith,
Jeremy
Lady
Renner,
Gaga.
1-1.
Gonna bother so many people.
For Frank Sinatra and Steinfeld. Some honorable mentions. I put MGK on here. I think he was awesome in The Dirt and in basically everything I've seen him act in. He's been pretty damn good. Andy Samberg, J-Lo. Shah Rukh Khan, who's like a Bollywood actor that I'm not sure if you guys know. He's like the second most richest actor in the entire world.
Really?
And all he does is sing in every movie he does, and is an incredible musical artist.
Well, he wasn't in RRR, was he?
He was not in RRR, so no worries. Awkwafina I considered as well because she was so damn good in The Farewell, but like her musical career isn't exactly.
I don't like her music, but I think she's a good actress.
She is. I agree.
People don't like her, but I think she's good. And have you watched North from Queens?
Yeah, dude, she's funny in that.
I think that show's very funny with BD Wong's in there too.
Yeah, BD Wong crushes in that. He's so
Didn't
funny.
she like nearly get canceled for something? Or like...
She has like a black scent.
It's the black scent thing.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
god.
I will note that both of these people were on my honorable mentions, as well as Cher, and Steve Van Zandt, who plays Silvio in The Sopranos, who's I believe what the good bassist or guitarist for. Fuck, what is he the guitarist for? Robbie, not you, Robbie. Robbie Fox would kill us for not knowing this. Fuck, Springsteen. But he's also in like Lilyhammer. Yeah. So someone just mentioned Lilyhammer. He is known as Little Steven or Miami Steve. I didn't know that. Yeah, Springsteen's band, E Street Band. Yeah. But yeah, so he was on the list too. What'd you guys leave? Sorry, what were you saying about MGK, Chris? I accidentally cut you off.
He's a talented guy, but I just hate him. I hate both of those two so much. They're the most pretentious fucks.
You know how hard it is to be that for both of them to be that hot and be that insufferable to the point where people are just through with you.
Yeah.
Next up for me was Elvis, which I don't think he's a great actor, but if you grow up in the South or have Southern parents, you more than likely have watched his entire filmography and grew up loving them. They're very cheesy, but they're very fun movies, at least in my opinion. So Elvis would have been next up for me.
Yeah, Andy Samberg would have been a good pick. Actually, I didn't think about that.
Incredibad's a legit album, yeah.
Just because of and that made me think. You could argue you probably could have put Weird Al on here too, in some capacity.
For UHF, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to flip that movie after this, by the way.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. The one that I almost went with, but it's almost a cop out because she did like one album like 14 years ago was Scarlett Johansson.
She had an album?
Yeah, in like 2007, 2008.
I did not know that. What kind of music was it?
I hope it was hip hop.
It was like very light. It was like very light. Like
it was like
fucking Starbucks music. Really, it was like, I think it tried to be. From what I remember, I could be wrong. It was kind of like a Nora Jones ripoff.
It was K-pop. It was K-pop.
K-pop. Yeah.
Oh, Johansson do it.
Asian Dynamite. Yeah. Yeah. I think she kind of has a cool voice, but I don't know if I would translate to singing well. I'm gonna have to watch it.
It's good. It's good enough, but that was the one that came to mind. But she's not well known enough as a musician for me to really go with it. Cher obviously would have been a good one. I know that there's gonna be somebody, and despite all the people we've mentioned, there's gonna be somebody that we have completely left off the list.
Barbara Streisand's gonna be the one when we post this graphic. Everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
David
Bowie's another one. Yeah,
but I don't think he was a great actor.
He wasn't a phenomenal actor, and his music is just so Titanic compared to his.
There are some Labyrinth stands out there though that are going to be which I don't really like. I don't really like that movie.
I think that man. Also, there's good imagination in that movie, but like Jennifer Connelly ruins that whole thing.
Yeah, like he's an icon. He'd be like probably my top artist if he ended up on the list. In terms of music catalog, I fucking love Bowie. His acting.
If we did like best entertainers, he would be on all of our top groupings.
That's kind of the problem here is that you could take basically every really famous musician or singer ended up becoming an actor in some capacity. So we could have just said, "Oh, Michael Jackson." Oh, but that's now. Okay, I know. The one that everyone's gonna shit on us for. No Beyonce.
But
no.
I'm not saying I agree. I don't think she's that great of an actress, and to be honest, I'm not even that crazy about her music. But I
don't mean either.
The Bayhive is gonna jump down our throats when they.
I don't think we don't have a big Bayhive following.
The crossover.
They find this stuff.
Believe it or not, the white males in their 20s that follow us, which makes up a sizable portion of our demographic. I don't think they like Beyonce.
That's fair.
I think they will be upset about no Bowie.
They'll be massive on like Arctic foxes or whatever, or Arctic monkeys. But I don't think Beyonce is going to be high on their list.
Could have put Johnny Depp on there too.
I don't like Johnny Depp,
but I just don't think of. I don't know any of his music, so that's where I couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. So good draft. We'll be back next week with a new topic. She was great in Pink Panther and Austin Powers. Beyonce. But
wasn't it?
Yes, it was Pink Panther 2. I forget the name of it, with featuring Steve Martin, who almost got drafted as well. But good ass draft. I think we have a good list, with the exception of like missing a couple that people are gonna get pissed about. I don't know who takes it. I think the Renner stands are gonna vote almost entirely in Chris's favor. So he's gonna have a massive following there. All the migrants that had to leave the Jeremy Renner app to come back to Twitter, which, you know what? all those like weeping people mad about Elon Musk having Twitter, like maybe even bring back the Jeremy Renner app. We could all recongregate there. So yeah, we'll be back next week with a new topic. But until then, have a nice weekend, everybody.